Hello everyone. Happy Thursday to you all, which is when you're going to be watching this video. For the first time, we are publishing videos moving forward on Thursdays. So welcome to our first Thursday video. We also have a weird video. We have a cat here. I'm in the corner. We've got a screen record going on. I know this is very different. I'm at my house, like very different video on a different day, but I'm going to explain to you what to expect in this video coming up. And for those of you that are new here, just know that if you like more of a traditional, like not so screen recorded, just talking to the camera kind of video, definitely go to my profile, check out some of my other videos on Whatnot. I have tons of videos about selling on Whatnot, so definitely check those out if you prefer more of a person on your screen as opposed to screen sharing with me here in the bottom corner. But nonetheless, let's get into what today's video is going to be about, which is going to be a basic walkthrough of what it looks like when you get onto the Whatnot platform as a seller. I want to show you guys some of the most commonly asked answers to the questions I get, which is essentially how to navigate this Whatnot platform, how to navigate the seller dashboard, how to navigate the seller hub. There is a lot of questions regarding how do I find all of the things that I want to find. And so I've compiled a list of questions that I want to kind of go through. And this is what it looks like. So these are some of the questions. We have it looks like about 17 of them. I went ahead and went to ChatGPT and I typed in and I said, hey, I need questions regarding all of these things, right? Making listings, doing shipping profiles, running auctions. And I went ahead and had her put them into she's she's too smart. And I went ahead and had ChatGPT put them into question formats here. So let's go ahead and show you some of the questions we're going to be covering today. If you guys want to read these, I am going to be attempting to cover all of these topics. So if you have questions about anything you're seeing here on the screen, definitely make sure that you are sticking around for this video. So basically what my plan is to kind of start here on Whatnot. So we're going to click on my little face here. This is your profile and you can see it's going to pull down. I'm on a Chromebook for a reference, mind you. It may be a little different on a Mac, but I am on a Chromebook here. And for the most part, it should have the general same layout, but I'm going to go through everything so you can kind of see what happens when you click on these things, right? All right, so first up, we have our selling and buying tabs. I'm not a huge buyer, so I don't really need to come into here and worry about many of the things in here. And it's kind of good to be familiar with this because when you have buyers asking you questions, like maybe they need to cancel an order or they want to refer to what they purchased, this is a really great way for you to be able to see how to refer them. So last night I purchased this little bundle. Someone titled it Maven Lot. There's no picture to it, which is fine, but you can see here some of the other past things that I've purchased. So you can kind of refer them to that tab if they ever have questions like, hey, I don't remember what I bought or how much I paid for it. That's what they need to know. But as far as selling, this is where we're going to be sticking most of our time. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're actually going to click on Seller Hub because I think this is the really best way to kind of have a broad overview of everything you need to have for a seller. And this is the part that when you're new to it can seem really daunting. There are a lot of tabs over here on the side, right? You've got your home, inventory, shows, marketing, orders, shipments, tips, referrals, analytics, finance, so on and so forth. I mean, it keeps going, right? So like, what are all of these? There's some drop-down menus to some of these. Like, let's just kind of dig in and see if we can help make some of it make sense for you. All right. So first page is our home page here. This is going to tell us like what we have to do. So I have 3 orders to ship, and then all of this I've had for a long time. So scheduling 3 shows, get a referral follower, share 3 shows. I'm not a big show sharer, I guess. So I guess I need to do that to check off this seller checklist. But this is going to be good for those of you guys that have never done a show, right? So this is going to be some amazing video tutorials in here. You have everything from scheduling your show, how to add listings, sharing your show, which is what these kind of are here, right? Then showtime. And it's so funny, actually, this is how I broke down my video, and I didn't do it based off of this, but they actually have theirs based the same way. That's a little funny. I actually had mine pre-show, showtime, post-show. That's too funny. Anyway, I digress. Showtime. So you have like just things you need to know, right? All these things you need to know, things about shipping. Like here's a whole video about shipping profiles, which we're going to talk about here, bundling and unbundling shipments, and just some other things that you need to know. So I highly recommend checking out these whatnot links and profiles, whatnot, forums and tutorials are really, really helpful. But alrighty, so let's just go in order of these tabs. So first tab is our inventory tab. So we have all inventory and offers. This is going to be super straightforward. There's not much you need to know about this tab other than this is your inventory. These are the items I have listed in my buy it now. So I'm not quite sure why this says I have 35 listings, and this that says low quality listings. It's because Whatnot just came out with something a few months ago about how if you make a high quality listing, it means it checks off more boxes than just the standard things that you have to fill out. And I don't personally fill out all those extra things, so my listings are considered low quality. So if your listings are considered low quality, it's nothing like bad. It just means that you don't have all the criteria marked off. But regardless, this is where you're going to see your inventory. I really don't use this page, and I don't really think you even need to, because your inventory is listed in your shows, and so you don't really need to see it on the back end, I guess, unless you want to make some like bulk adjustments or something like that. But you can see here there's like a bulk edit button, so you can do some bulk edits if you wanted to. You can also do individual edits as well, but you can see how it pulls everything up for you here, and you can do a mass edit without having to click on every single item. So you can change title, quantities, price, all of these things just at the main screen here, which is really, really helpful. Again, I don't use that because once an item is listed, it's listed at what it needs to be listed at. So I'm not worried about editing it a lot of the times, but this is still a great page. You also have some drafts and inactives here if you want to, you know, use those. Again, I don't really use this page. I actually think this is my least used tab. I don't use this tab I use everything else here except for the inventory tab, to be honest with you. Next up is going to be your offers. I don't really get offers on my items. I don't think I have room for offers because my pricing is so low in the buy it now. Those books are in there because they're ready to be moved. I've already shown them in the show. They're not something that's going to sell well on the shelf, so I just list it for really cheap in my buy it now. Personally, that's how I use my buy it now. And if I was to get offers, this is where I would receive them. But as you can see, I don't have any at the moment. So let's go on to our next tab, which is going to be our shows tab. So we have shows and shows tool. So these are pretty self-explanatory. Your shows are going to all be scheduled out. If they are all scheduled out, this is what it'll look like, right? So this is the page that I'm going to use when I'm cloning items over. So since we're on this page, I think this is a great opportunity to show you how you would do that. And I actually think I can clone something over. Yeah, we can clone something over because I have this show coming up on Friday. I have this plush toys, kids, baby, tons of deals show. So we can definitely clone some stuff over. So first off, I'll just show you. So you have all these created shows. So this is my show scheduled out. My shows are scheduled all the way out until I think the end of March. So that is why I have so many here. And I highly recommend that when you are doing your first and few shows, you should always have a handful of shows scheduled. Even if you don't know for sure if you can go live or at that time or day, you can always reschedule it, but at least have a show scheduled so that if people decide they really like your show style, they can go ahead and bookmark that next show. As you can see, there's a couple options on these shows. And then as I get down, you can see I have my ended shows down here. So I can go back and reference any past shows I have if I want to clone items from the show or maybe see the analytics from that show. But as you can see, you have a few things. You can open the show up, which is just going to open it up on your browser so that you can either edit it, view it, whatever from your desktop, or if you are going live from your phone, you can use your desktop as a way to run your auction or just see some of the stuff in the back end without having to be so focused on the screen of your phone. Then you have copy show link, pretty self-explanatory. You can share your show. And then this is the one that I want to talk to you guys about, this view and clone items from this show. So let's go ahead and utilize this feature so I can show you exactly how it works. So, also you can enable private mode, which you can do when you want to schedule a show that you want to do a practice show on. And we're going to talk about that in a few. So let's go ahead and view and clone the items from a show that I have that's coming up. Let's do this toy one because that's what we're doing on Friday. So what we're going to do is just click view and clone items from this show, and it's going to pop up and it's going to have everything that I had that's still available from that show. So I had some games, I had some plush, I had some toys, and then I had, of course, my listings for items by weight, which if you guys are curious about this, we will talk about this later. How we do these listings, I'm going to show you because I've had a lot of people ask me questions about how do you create these listings so that when I'm in an auction, I don't have to have everything individually listed. I can just run it by the weight of the item I'm going to show you how we create those. All right, so to do a clone, which is going to take all the items from a past similar show and move it over to your next similar show, you're going to first select the show you want everything to be cloned to. So my next show is this Plush Toys Kids Baby, so I'm going to go ahead and click that, and then now it'll go ahead and let me select these. And I want to select everything because I want to be able to run these individual auctions. I want to showcase the items that are being shown in these price ranges. I have my little listing that just says, hi, welcome in, see the store for pictures. Again, I will show you guys how to create these if you want to know how to put these into your show. And then next up we have our listings. So these are just items that I already had listed, and I'm just going to clone them over into tomorrow's show. We'll just click clone 27 items. Are you sure you want to clone these? Yes, I am. Okay, they're being cloned, perfect. And now it's going to actually pull up that live stream. And here are all of the products. So now they are all in here. I have everything ready to go as an auction. Here's all my items, pricing, pictures, everything comes back over. So I do not need to relist these. And I don't need to worry about these being items that have already sold because those items will not be cloned over. They've been sold. Those items have been deleted. So these are going to be just items that are left over from that show, right? All right, so that is kind of cloning. Hopefully that makes sense. You're going to just click on this item, go to the show you want to clone items from, and then select the show that you want to clone items to, and then pick the items you want to clone, whether it's all or just some, and then clone them over, and then they will be into that show. We're gonna talk about private shows in a little bit. Let's go ahead and go over to Show Tools. I actually don't know what this is. Let's see. Oh, this is for OBS, which I don't use at all. So if you are somebody who wants to use this type of software for streaming, where you can basically have just a little bit more of like a fancy setup, you can look into that. I'm not going to talk about that on the show because I don't use it. All right, next on is marketing. So we have become an affiliate, promote, and coupons. So if you wanted to look into affiliate marketing, you could do that here. Obviously, there is a way to do affiliate marketing. However, I don't want to talk about that today because I don't really think that's really relevant, especially when you're just getting started on Whatnot. So let's go ahead and talk about the promote and coupons. Now, promote, so you can see total promotions I've run is 2. And the reason why I ran those promotions is because I actually was given a promotion credit via Whatnot to do that. So I have never looked at this page. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first time we're looking at this together. That seems like a pretty good percentage. 96% percentage of buyers that made it to a sustained watch upon your show. That's pretty good. So this is, I guess, 45 spend. Again, this isn't from me. This is I had $50 credit of promotion from Whatnot when I did Whatnot Con last year. I don't recommend promoting your show. I just don't think it's necessary. I think providing a good quality product with a good general show structure at good times and engaging with your audience and building a genuine connection is going to be the best promotion you can have. You don't need to use these promote tools. If you want to, you can. I just genuinely do not think that you need to use them. So that's all I'm going to say about it. You can see I've used it twice, and it was solely because I had a credit to do so. All right, let's talk about coupons. Here's some old coupons that are deactivated, so no one can use them, so it doesn't really matter. But basically, what you can do is create a coupon, and you create a code, a custom code, whatever you want it to be, and you create, do you want it to be a percentage or a dollar amount? And then you can see here how many people actually claimed this code. And what it essentially is it's a coupon that people can use within your stream. And this is great. This is so much fun. I actually really enjoy the coupon. All right, I'm going to put myself over here for a little bit so I can show you guys this screen. So let's create a coupon together. So you have everyone, new buyers to you, never purchased in your show, new buyers to Whatnot, have never even purchased on Whatnot, right? So let's create a new buyers to Whatnot. I think that's actually a fun coupon. Let's put a coupon code, and you can't repeat your coupon code. So if you have a code that you've used in the past, you have to come up with something new. So let's just say new to Whatnot 2025. And then you go ahead and click on, do you want this to be a fixed amount, a discount, like they just get $5 off their purchase? Do you want a percentage? 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to choose a percentage. And let's say our maximum discount amount that someone can get is, I don't know, let's say $20. Oh wait, we got to put in our percentage. So you can put in obviously whatever you want. You can do, 5%, 10%, whatever. I think for new to whatnot, 5 or 10% is pretty solid. It does add up pretty quickly. So, just keep that in mind. I have ran promotions before with 10% coupons, and it was just like quite a bit of savings that people had. But this is also new to whatnot, which is kind of cool because these are going to be people who have never made a purchase at all. So this is just encouraging them to make a purchase. So we're going to go ahead and say 10% just to kind of encourage them with a max discount of $20, which means they'd have to spend like $200 to get 20 bucks off. So I feel like that's pretty fair. All right. And then let's go down here to minimum purchase amount, which there doesn't have to be a minimum per se, but let's just say $1. All right, next. Ooh, it can't be longer than 15 characters. Good to know. So let's do new to WN 2025. Kind of shorten that. Alrighty, so now enable coupons for all upcoming live streams, existing and new. You can definitely toggle that over if you just want it to be something that runs always, and that's something that you promote within your show. For me, I would want to just select maybe a couple of shows, like select all for the ones that I have scheduled, and this would just apply that coupon out for the next 3 months versus every single time I make a show that would be applied, right? So you could just go ahead and select that and then click create coupon. I'm not going to create this coupon because I don't want to have any active coupons at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and just close this out. So if you wanted to make a coupon, that is basically how you do it. Next up is our orders tab. Pretty self-explanatory here, right? So these are going to be all of the orders that people have placed. And this is a little different than the shipments tab. Shipments is going to be when you're actually going to like pack the orders, whereas the orders tab is just like an overview, right? So if we wanted to look at a certain show, we could definitely do that. This is all. So this is just a large collection of orders. Not really a screen I use that often, but I love the shipments tab. I don't love it, I just have to use it because this is our seller hub. So throughout the show, you've probably seen this little orange banner popping up at the top. You have 3 live orders to ship. It's like, I know. Had a show on Tuesday and I still need to ship those orders. So here are those 3 orders. Let's go ahead and go over the shipments tab. This might be the most important tab out of all of these. And this is the one that you're going to really want to get comfortable with. So let's say I just finished my show on Tuesday. Okay, just finished it and I want to go ahead and pack these 3 orders. I'm ready to pack them. So I've got this show is selected. If I wanted to pick a different show, I could, but this show is selected as the orders. And this is what the screen is going to automatically look like. You can see up here at the top, you have some general analytics, and you can see down here, you have a larger selection for analytics if you do want to see what that looks like. But right off of the bat, you can see we have $53 was our total sales for that show. When you see this negative 78 cents for total earned payout, which you can scroll over here and it'll kind of show you, this is typically for shipping from giveaways. So this is me paying out of my pocket for running giveaways. So I think I ran 2 buyers giveaways for this show, and that was with a total. So for reference, 78 cents for 2 buyers giveaways, not terrible. So total shipping spend there, 78 cents. You can see how that directly correlates. No one spent anything with coupons. That's usually going to be your coupons from that tab I just showed you, or your rewards club. So if someone does buy something with their rewards club coupon, it will show up here. Let me see if I can show you an example. Probably this last show had some coupon spend. Let's see. Yeah. So this last show I did on Saturday had $43 in coupon spend. So kind of crazy. And you can also see I spent $24 in shipping. So I did a lot of giveaways in that show. All right. So then you, of course, have your items sold, so on and so forth, right? So here's what I like to do on this tab. So this is me pretending I'm shipping these orders. This is what I want to do. The first thing I want to do is actually put these in alphabetical order. I kind of wish it would default into alphabetical order because I just think that makes things so much easier, but it doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and click this twice, and you'll see now this is in alphabetical order by buyers. Now, you might say, well, it doesn't really matter. It's just 3 orders. But you know when it matters is when you have 46 orders or however many this was, and you have this giant list of names, and you don't have it in alphabetical order. That's going to be a problem. So you want to put something like this in alphabetical order, because now when you're pulling your orders and you're packing, everything's in order. I don't know what order this is. This random order, it's not alphabetical. It's by something. I actually don't know what it's by, but it doesn't really matter because it's not helpful. So that's why we were putting them in alphabetical order. So again, 3 orders, you might be like, oh, that seems a little ridiculous. Well, when you have 40, it's not going to seem ridiculous. So alphabetical order, and then I go ahead and pop that tab down. See that little tab right there? Pop it down so I can see everything that people bought. So then I'm going to go ahead and select all the items for each bundle or for each order and put them in a pile. So for Jess, I'm going to grab her pile of books here, and she had a buyer's givey, which is not a physical tangible item, so I don't need to grab anything for that, but if it was, I would. Then you have Michelle. Michelle had a bundle as well as a single book that we ran on auction. So this is a great example. I'll show you this now so that later when I'm describing it, it makes more sense. You see this book 1 to 2 pounds number 1. Right? So I ran a book 1 to 2 pounds in weight, and it was the first book, and it sold, and that is now the listing title. If I go down here to Jenny, you can see book 1 to 2 number 2. So the second auction I ran for that weight group is this one. So hopefully that makes sense. You can see another example here, 4 to 7 number 1. So I would just basically go and select all these items, and I would put them in 3 different piles, and I would begin packing them. Then once I have them all in their piles, I can go ahead and pull that back up. I would come over here. I would look at these buttons over on this side. And the first one I'm going to click on is this edit button. So I'm going to pull myself back over here so I can show you this screen that's going to pop up. So the edits are going to be your length, width, and height. And then your dimensions. I don't know about you, but I don't typically use feet and centimeters. So inches are the default, and I usually keep it on inches. Then you're gonna go ahead and enter the weight. So this is a great example for me to show you kind of the shipping cost down here, because it can get a little bit confusing. You really need to never worry about this already paid. You don't need to worry about that. What you need to worry about is this adjustment, right? So right now, there's no adjustment. So if I was to save this package at 12 by 12 by 12 at 145 ounces, which is what you can see she's paid for over here, and click save, I'm going to have no label adjustments. But now let's say the package is actually 180 ounces. So let's see if it gives me an adjustment. Yep, sure does. $1.28, because now the package is more than what I said it was. So at 180, it's giving us this $1.28 adjustment, but what it's also telling us is that you have 2 free adjustments remaining on your allowance of 5 free adjustments per week. So if I was to save this, it's going to say, hey, we're going to charge you $1.28 unless you have an adjustment, which I do. I have 2. And I would just click, okay, not a problem. I've got an adjustment. I'm good. Now, for example, if we go up to this higher value, 250, the adjustment is still the same, $1.28. But look, it's telling me that I've increased the weight exceeding 5 pounds. So I've exceeded a 5-pound adjustment, which is not going to be covered. They're saying, nope, we're not covering that. You need to cover that. And so it's only $1.28. So it's not bad, but it is letting you know you've made one change that isn't covered by your free adjustment. So pay attention to this little icon at the bottom. It's going to kind of tell you what you need to know as far as how these shipments work and when you're editing them. So that's kind of the shipments tab. I know it's hard for me to show you that when I'm not actually shipping orders, because I can't save these and generate these labels and all of that. But after you save the items, let's say you go through and do all 5 of these and save them. You can generate all your labels. You can have your labels emailed to you and print all your labels out at once. You can print them out individually, whatever you prefer. That is a whole nother video, but I just kind of wanted to discuss a little bit of this dashboard here, okay? This is kind of your seller dashboard when it comes to shipments. So you guys had asked me like, well, how do I get the address and stuff? I can't really show you, so I'm gonna have to block it out. But okay, so here it is right here. I can have it blocked out. You can't see because my little bubble is over it. So do you see where it says shipping, ship to? So her name and address is here. All right, let's go on to shipping profiles. So if you're still with me in this video, thank you so much for watching. Definitely hit that like button if you're enjoying it. I know this is a little in depth, but I just get these types of questions so often that I figured having a one-stop shop place where you can go through the seller hub and go to the items that you need help with, whether it's referrals or shipments, or you want to look about how the rewards club is. You can toggle through all of these things as we're going through this little tutorial here. Okay, let's talk about shipping profiles. So this is actually a really important part of setting up your show if you would plan on selling items outside of the set profiles that Whatnot gives you. Now I want to go ahead and show you the set profiles that Whatnot's going to give you, and then you can see here, these are all the ones I've made outside of that. I'm going to show you the bundles or the profiles they automatically give you. So if you scroll down, these will be the profiles that you're automatically going to have access to. 0 to 1 ounces, 1 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, and 12 to 15 ounces. You don't need to make any more profiles for ounces. They've got you covered. There's no more ounces profiles that you would need to create. As far as pounds though, they give you 1 pound, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Cool, right? That makes sense. But then it goes 4 to 6. So say I have a 5-pound bundle, but now the buyer's going to be charged up to 6 pounds worth of weight. But I only have 5, so I don't want to charge them 6 pounds. So maybe I want to go in and create a 5-pound bundle. Same thing here, 7 to 9. What if I want to have an 8-pound bundle? Same deal. And then this was the kicker. This is the last one, 10 to 14. That's the highest you can go. Well, I sell books, right? So like I need my shipping profiles to be like what I typically sell. So I need them to be, let's go back, bundles that sometimes are 35 pounds or 25 pounds or 28 pounds. I don't want to charge someone more than what they need. So let's find a bundle I don't have and I'll show you how to create one. Let's just do 26 though, just because that's one we don't have. So let's go to create. And here's what you need to do. 26-pound bundle. And then for the weight, can you guys guess what I'm going to put? 26 pounds. So now I have a bundle titled 26 pounds, a weight shipping profile titled 26 pounds, and it's going to be 26 pounds in weight. Now, as far as these bundling options down here, you just really need to ignore them. They're not relevant for most people, but if you have, like it says here, recommended for items that are really big, breakable, or you want to send individually. So what is the maximum number of items that you can fit into a package? So maybe you sell something, you know exactly what type of box you use, and you know you can only fit 2 of that item into the box. So you can go ahead and toggle this over and say maximum is 2. And after they buy 2 of that item, their shipping's going to restart. They have to pay for a new box for me to ship them, basically, right? We don't need to worry about that personally because we don't do breakable big items like that. So publish. So now when I go back to my shipping profiles, you can see here it is, 26-pound bundle. Perfect, right? So that's shipping profiles. And that is important because when you are running auctions or creating listings in your store, you need to make sure that you have the appropriate weight for the items that you are selling. So that's shipping profiles. If you have any more questions about the stuff I'm covering, please pop it in the comments. If something's not making sense, I will be more than happy to clarify it, but I think that that's pretty self-explanatory. All right, next up you have your tips tab. Very, very self-explanatory. These are gonna be where your tips are. These are people that have tipped me recently. Next up, we have our referral program. So this is actually a tab for really sellers who are like interested in really promoting their shows and stuff like that. So you can see here, I've earned some credit from my profile referrals, which is people using my seller sign up link to come to the show. I get a $5 credit every time someone does, and 10 referrals are complete, which means they signed up via my link and made a first purchase. I have 27 people who still need to make purchases for me to get my credit. Let's go ahead and move on to our analytics page. So analytics are going to be obviously your sales, right? You can pick dates that you want to show your analytics in. You can do the last week, last month, last year, year to date. You can go on and like select like the distance you want your shows to be. Then you have your trust and safety metrics. So I actually have a few delayed options right now. I have some canceled orders, which was really obnoxious because there was a horrible glitch. No flawed items, no low rated, no unfulfilled. I don't have any trust and safety violations, no warnings, no suspensions, no penalties, anything like that, right? So pretty easy, simple to view stuff here. This is going to just be a great way to look at who's buying what, how much people are spending, all of that good stuff. So let's say we wanted to look at, okay, how many orders did I do, right? What days did I do those orders? Or maybe you're curious, how many followers did I gain in that time? So I got 121 follows in that time. What's the max concurrent viewers you had? Or the number of lives you did. I did 10, and tells you what days you did, right? So you can play around with these little toggles here. There's a lot of different little options, right? And then you also have live stream analytics here. So you can, if you want to look at specific things. So this was my, let's go to my Saturday show. It's probably going to be a little bit more interesting. So I have my sales, revenue, total orders, average order value, how much I spent on giveaways. I had 45 total buyers, 6 of them were first time, 39 were returning. I had one person share it, total views 982. I was on for 8 hours. So kind of cool, right? You can see all that stuff there. And then same thing here, your promote tools, but I don't have any promote tools because I didn't use that. So if you do decide to use that, your analytics page is where you're going to find all of those things. All right. Financials, this is another tab that I really genuinely never use because I don't need to use it. I don't know. It just isn't important to me. I don't know. I use it, I guess, on my phone, maybe. But on here, this is just like, it's going to tell you what your current balance is. You can see here, $44 will be available soon, but I don't have it available yet because I haven't shipped these orders. Once I go ahead and ship these orders, that will become available. Now, keep in mind, if you don't have 1,000 sales, your balance will not be available until the order is delivered. So you do have to wait until your package is delivered to the buyer for them for whatnot to initiate your payout. For me, once you hit 1,000 sales, you will actually receive instant payout, which is why a lot of people you'll see are doing shows where it's like trying to get to 1,000 sales. That's why, because the money will become available immediately once you process those orders. Then you can select your withdrawal payments, and then obviously you can have your payout history here. If you scroll down, you'll see all of your payouts and the method that you use to pay it. And then you can also see here, like I have my 2023 tax return. So I can actually click on this, download it, and that's where I'm going to be able to view all my financials for this past year. You may want to utilize the ledger if you don't have over 1,000 sales, because this is going to show you every single piece of information. You can see here, it breaks it down from like the earnings to the giveaways to your balance to whether it was paid out or not. So utilize this ledger when you are first getting started, just to make sure everything adds up. And then after a while, you'll start noticing it all pretty much just makes sense. But in the beginning, feel free to utilize that ledger. Okay, Rewards Club. We have talked about Rewards Club. I have an entire video on Rewards Club. I am not going to go in depth on this part because you can watch that video, but I'm just going to chat about it real quick. So you can see here, this is where it is set up. I cannot edit it because once it is set up, you cannot edit it until the next season. But here is my season 2 analytics, or my season 2 rewards club program. So I have all of my options for bronze tier and what the rewards are, what the achievements are to get silver tier, what your rewards will be, gold, platinum, and diamond. You're probably familiar with what rewards clubs are. They're just ways to accumulate basically points towards gaining discounts on future purchases. That's all you kind of need to know here. All right, and then we got settings. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. This is who you are. Support chat and email us. What you kind of need to know about this is never use support chat. Like, I'm serious. Use it if you want to, but this is trash. I do not like this support tab. It is not helpful. 9 times out of 10, they are just referring me to a customer support agent and creating a ticket for me. This has never helped me. Not one single time. It may help you, it has never helped me. And then you can always do the email us. If you click this, it's going to go ahead and open up an email page. So I'm not going to click on that, but it does allow you to create an actual ticket where you can share your information that you have a question about, and they usually get back to you within about 2 to 3 days. It's not great. It's not very responsive. You'll get an automated email that says, hey, we've received your request. And then usually within about 48 hours, they'll respond, but it isn't always 48 hours. I'm not going to lie. It is just kind of trash. It is the worst part of Whatnot is their customer support. Hands down, by far. They require us to be very into customer support. They actually are rolling out a new program for us to enroll in, which enables us to have a better level of customer support for us, but not as sellers. Like, we're not going to have access to better customer support for us. It's just us giving better support to our buyers. So it's bad. And Whatnot, if you're listening, please, 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 please focus on that. It is exhausting. All right, guys. Whatnot Seller Academy. You need to check this out. It's so fun. You can see they really suck you in with all of these graphics and fun things, but it's fun. It's a really good time. You can see everyone having an absolute blast here. This is really what you want to be feeling like on your shows. You want to be having a good time. You want to be celebrating even just the small sales, followers, whatever it might be, whatever your milestones are. So you can actually go ahead and scroll through here and find all kinds of fun stuff. Again, we talked about this earlier. There are some videos that talk about all of these things here. There's a lot of helpful guidelines and policies here, right? Webinars and blogs, how to market your shows, and then of course, frequently asked questions. And then at the very top here, you have a go live guide, grow your business, resources. So lots of very helpful things here, but I think this is a great place for you to start if you are new. So I think that these little forums are great. Obviously, I just made this very long video giving you a lot more depth and detail into what exactly Whatnot is and the Seller Hub here, but I think that those are really good and you should definitely reference those as much as you possibly can because they are it's so helpful. It's what I use to get started. I didn't watch a lot of content when I got started personally. I just went directly to the source and I wanted to know what they were saying. All right, let's go to our questions here. Let's see what we didn't answer. I feel like a lot of these things we didn't answer, to be quite honest with you. So let's go through some of these and answer these questions. So the difference between making a listing and showing items live on Whatnot, which is going to be pretty much exactly what I said. Let's go to a show. Let's go to this next show that we have coming up because, we cloned some items over there, right? So let's go to this show. Let's talk about the difference between making a listing and showing the items live. So here's what the difference on that's going to be. Making a listing looks like this. This is a custom listing over here, right? Baby teething bundle, lot of 5 with wooden pieces. And then I have about 4 or 5 different photos showcasing these baby teething items. I have a starting price and a shipping weight in there. If I wanted to run this auction, I could just run it. It's already listed. I took time to take and make that listing, right? These are all examples of that. Took time to make these listings, just like you would on any platform. Not making a listing and showing the item live, it's going to be these items here. So let's say I am showing $2 plush. I could take this product, I could pin it up to my page here. Now see at the bottom where it says $2 items being shown, make requests to run. So as I'm showing the item, someone goes, oh, I would like that item. Let's say I'm showing a plush, a Snoopy plush. And someone goes, oh, Snoopy, I'd like Snoopy. Cool. I'm going to take Snoopy and go, how much does Snoopy weigh? Oh, Snoopy weighs, he's a little under a pound. He's about 11 ounces, right? So with our shipping products, he's probably going to be closer to that 12 to 15 ounce, right? So I'd go over here, product actions, and it's not here because we're not live, but I would click start auction. And I would run the auction at a 12 to 15 ounce item for $2 because that's what I was showing. We're showing $2 items. He weighs just under a pound. I'm going to run him at $2 for 12 to 15 ounces. Okay. So now when he sells, the listing isn't going to be like this. It's not going to be counting dinosaurs math manipulative, and I know exactly what it is. It's going to be 12 to 15 ounce item number 1. Well, how do I know what that is? I know it's the Snoopy, but I'm not going to remember that. So I take a little piece of painter's tape, 12 to 15/1, and I take the little piece of painter's tape, I stick it on Snoopy. I put Snoopy to the side. So now I know that Snoopy was item number 1 of 12 to 15 ounces. I go back, I'm running another item, showing items, and they say, oh, I would like that item. Well, maybe it's another 12 to 15 ounce item. So now when I go to run this auction, it's gonna be 12 to 15 ounces, number 2. So I'll do the same thing, 12 to 15/2. Stick it on the item and put it to the side and keep on going. So this is the difference between showing items individually and having them listed. It's just you having to manually label each item after it sells so that you know which item specifically it is. How are listings ordered or organized in a seller's store? All right, well, we can go back to this live stream. So here's our auction. Alphabetically is the first thing. You're gonna notice on some of my listings, do you see here how it says 0? And then these all say like 1. See how it says like 1 before it? 2, 3, right? The reason why I have it like that is because it'll alphabetize and numerical order your store first. So what it's gonna do is put things in alphabetical order. So let's go down here once we get past the numbers, because I went through numerical order first. Then it's gonna start in alphabetical order. So you can see baby, binoculars, counting, Daniel. See how it starts going in alphabetical order? So the answer is alphabetical order. And the reason why I think that's important is because if you want items that are up here at the top, like I want this at the top. So I have it as 0. Welcome in, see store for pictures, make requests. When I have this pinned at the bottom, when I'm going live, they can see this when they pop in. Welcome in, see store for pictures, make requests, will show plush individually. It's telling people exactly what I'm about to be doing. It's very helpful. So you're making these things pinned at the bottom, just little listings in your auction, and then you're just pinning them. You're never gonna run them. They're just pinned. Okay. How do auctions on Whatnot work in terms of timing and starting prices? Now, this is gonna be something I can't show you unless we do a private show, which we definitely can. Let's go ahead and schedule a private show. Let me show you guys that. We'll do a 2-in-1. How to do a private show and how to run your auctions. So let's go to create a show. We're gonna do private test. We'll do it today for this time here. Let's do a category. We're gonna say toys. We'll do plush. Maybe plush. Okay, it's selected. All right, show format, and you can see here it tells you some of these things are required. See how it says required, optional, right? You have to choose some of these things. We could add tags. Tags are great if you have something specific that you might be selling. Maybe you're selling Squishmallows and Jellycat. You can select up to 3 tags. You could add a moderator. You could add your thumbnail, your preview, all that stuff. You could add a specific coupon. You could disable pre-bids on your show if you wanted to. Not something I personally want to do. You could say, hey, this stuff I'm showing, maybe not be the most appropriate for everyone. Or I like to curse. Maybe I'm a cursor. I'm going to play music that has curse words in it. So you want to turn that on. Are there words you want to mute? Maybe you don't like certain words in your show. You can mute them. You can say, I don't want people being able to say that word. To me, that's a bad word. You could do that. Got your language. And then here's what I was talking about earlier as far as the rewards club and then now the private. So I'm scheduling the show normally as a public show so that everyone can view it. Now tonight, we're going to schedule it as a private show, right? I just want to show you guys some stuff. So we're going to do a private show. We're going to start the show. I'm going to show you some things. Now, if I wanted to do this rewards club, you can see here, minimum tier. I can select the minimum tier here. Okay, so that's how I'll do that rewards club. But for now, let's do a private show. And then let's go ahead and do schedule. All right, so now we have this private show scheduled. You can see disable private mode versus enable. So it is private, you can see there. Let's clone some items into this show so I can show you. So we're gonna clone those, okay. It's gonna pull up our live stream. This is our private show. No one can come in here, just us. And this is what you need to do. You need to make one of these. You need to do this so you can press these buttons. I'm gonna show you what this looks like. So let's say, all right, we're ready to go live. So what do? What's the first thing you gotta do, guys? You gotta start your stream. Front facing, default, go live. Okay, ready? Let's go live. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're live. Here I am, front facing. I could definitely be doing this from my phone where I would not need to worry about being front facing. It would be, I could flip the camera around. Obviously here, there is no back camera on my computer, so this is my only option, but we're live technically, right? This would be live. I have one viewer. I'm officially live. I can run auctions, but it is just me. So no one else is in here. So let's go ahead and show you guys what I would normally do, right? So I would pin this item up, so that when people pop in, they're doing this and I'm starting my show. Hi, welcome in. I've got a lot of great items today. Definitely check out that store. I've got all my items pictured in there. I am going to be showing a lot of items live that aren't pictured, so stick around to see what I have, right? Okay, so now let's say we got the show rocking and rolling here. Your chat would also pop up over here. Obviously no one's in here, but your chat would pop up. How much you've sold will also pop up here. How long you've been live. So like I said, this is that thing I was showing you, right? So I'd pin it up and go, hey, all right, guys, everything I'm showing now are $2 items. So I'm going to just show you guys these items. If you want me to run it, just say run in the chat and I'll go ahead and run it. So I'm starting to show items. Showing items, talking about them, showing items. And then someone says, oh, run that. And you go, okay, cool. I'm going to run that. And we'll use our example we used earlier for continuity. Oh, this is a Snoopy. It's 12 to 15 ounces. I'm going to go ahead and run this for you. So I click product actions. And now we have the option to start the auction. So when you click start auction, you're going to get a second page. And this is what's going to pop up. You could switch it over to sudden death, which means that when you're down to 1 second, whoever's the last person to put that bid in wins. It does not reset. Once it gets down to 0, the auction is over. I personally don't do sudden death. You can. I personally don't. So it's going to pop up the option for you to click your starting price. So I'm going to say, oh, this is a $2 plush, like I said, and I'm going to change up the time. So you can run an auction from 2 seconds all the way up to, oh wow, they changed it. So you can do 5-minute auctions now. It used to be 2 minutes, I feel like. Now you can do 5 minutes, I guess, which is kind of long. For me personally, I actually run 10 to 15 second auctions personally. So I would say 10 seconds. And then the next thing it's going to ask you is when the auction has less than 10 seconds remaining, any new bids will reset the timer. How long do you want it to reset for? So say someone comes in, do you want it to reset for just 2 seconds and keep it kind of quick? Maybe 5 seconds is kind of average, or do you want a full another 10 seconds, right? So for me, I like to do about 5 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and click start auction, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so now the item is running. You can see it's counting down here. Obviously, I can't bid, but on the buyer's end, this is what it looks like. 12 to 15 ounces, number 1. All right, no one bid on it. Obviously, no one's in here. So now the auction is over. If someone had bid on it, it would pop up and say, so-and-so won the auction. And then if you went over to your solds, you would see, it would say 12 to 15 ounces, number 1, sold to so-and-so for so-and-so amount of dollars. So this is the point of the private show, is to press these buttons and get familiar. So let's run another one. Now this one's 2 to 3 pounds. Same thing. Start auction. This one is going to be a $5 item. Same thing. I want to run it for 10 seconds, and this will auto save. So I chose 10 seconds with a 5-second counter bid time. It's going to stay that every single time. So if you want to change that, you can. But after you set it for the first time in your auction, you don't need to change it again. Every time you go live, you'll need to change it. But for the first time, you don't need to keep changing it. So again, I could start the auction, and now it's running again. So you see how this is invaluable to get in here and press these buttons and kind of see? You could go to your giveaways tab and see what your giveaways look like here, how it looks to pin those up. So utilize this. This is a great thing. Now, I'm done. I don't think I need to do anything else. I think that was pretty self-explanatory and helpful, I hope. I will say you can see some options here. Actually, I'm not done. We have some other questions we can answer with this. Normally, when you click this more option, you'd see an option for a raid. Is it under seller tools? Yeah, right here. So it's under seller tools. I don't know why it's in this way. It doesn't normally look like this. You don't have to normally click something. What's this show randomizer? Okay, so I've never had access to this. Well, that's good to know that I have access to it on my computer now. I didn't know that. And so you can make a wheel. That's fun. You could add a poll. You could say, hey guys, what should we show next? And maybe give some choices. You can video filter. I don't know what this is. Oh, filter. You can make a filter. That's kind of cool. Sepia. I've never seen that before. I've never known someone to use a filter on their video like that. And then start raid. This is the one I wanted to answer for you guys. So we could raid into somebody. So here's people that are live right now. Shouldn't pop up if they're not live. So we could raid into Jen or raid into Harry if we wanted to. You would just click on that. And then if I did, so let's say I clicked raid into Jen and click enter. It's going to pull up started a raid. So I'd click raid now and everyone that's in my show would go to her show. That's what a raid is. Let's see, is there any other questions I can answer while we have this? So we did the private show. So this is the private show, how you can do that. We talked about shipping profiles. We did that. How you can enter and run giveaways during a live stream. So we kind of talked about this. I think giveaways are pretty easy. They're listings. So basically, let's say I wanted to add something. When you're creating a listing, you almost always want to create a quality listing because it's going to require you to put a photo. But when you are live, you can use temporary listing. So you can do an auction, you can do a buy it now, and you can do a giveaway. So let's say we want to put a giveaway in here. We are going to be in the category that we wish to be in. We'll do the same thing we were doing, plush. And then we'll say, givey, yay, whatever you want to title it. I'm going to say host choice. I'll pick the item, host choice. And then we'll do, let's say 3 of them. And then for me, see all these shipping profiles that pop up now? You guys see that, how that works? So you can pick the item shipping profile. For giveaways, I always do 0 to 1 ounces because that's typically what it is. My items are almost never hazardous, so I don't need to worry about that. And then here's your options, guys. So you could do a buyer's giveaway, which means only people that have made purchases in your show can enter into that giveaway. You can do a followers only giveaway, which means everyone that wants to enter to the giveaway has to follow you before they can enter. So on their side, it'll say follow and enter giveaway. Or you can just say everyone. I don't care if you follow me. This is for everyone. You don't have to follow me, just get entered. I don't recommend doing that one. I recommend doing followers and buyer's giveaway, right? But let's say we want to do followers only and confirm. Oh, we got to do a subcategory? I did. I select, oh, I guess it didn't finish through. Okay, so let's just say other plush. Done. Okay, now we have a category. My bad. All right, and then confirm. So now, see how it popped up over here? I thought I did 3 of them. I must have reset when I changed the category. Either way, they'll all pop up over here. So then I can do product actions and I can do start giveaway. So now you can see here it's running and it'll tell me how many people are entered and how much longer I have left. And then whenever I'm ready to run it, I could click end giveaway, or it'll probably say run giveaway when there's entries. But since there's no entries, obviously no one's in here, I'll just click end. And then once you do that, it'll draw. So it obviously didn't draw because there's no entrance, but normally it would draw a winner. So that's how you do your giveaways there. Let's see, what else do we have? We talked about the dashboard and shipping orders. Payments, again, I kind of talked a little bit about this. When you reach 1,000 sales, you're going to get auto payment, instant payout. When an item is delivered, you'll get a payout for other sellers if you haven't reached 1,000 yet. What does it mean to raid? What's the difference between verified and non-verified? And how does it affect transactions? It doesn't, personally. I don't know if it's going to show up on this end here. Normally, it would be here in your little extra. When you click more, it's not there at the moment, but it would be there. And you could basically say, do you want people who are in your show to only be verified or non-verified? And you can actually change this mid-show. So say standard show you're running and everyone can be in regardless. And then let's say maybe you're running something really high end and you're like, look, I can't have non-verified buyers. And verified and non-verified is something that the buyer does on their end. I think it's just like confirming their address, phone number, things like that. I don't think it's anything crazy. It's just kind of like, are you really a real person or are you kind of like not a real person, like a bot or something. So then you could toggle it over and say, I want verified only buyers because I'm about to show an item I'm going to run for $500 and I don't want to have any weird like non-verified buyers in here. So it'll literally kick all the non-verified buyers out and only people who are left verified will stay. So that's kind of what verified, non-verified is. We talked about where you can find all of these resources. We talked about the referral program, rewards club, and then the analytics. So technically, I think we've covered all of our questions there. So I'm going to go ahead and end our live here. Let's see more. And then this is how you would end your show. End. And then this is permanent. Yes, the show is over. And obviously we didn't sell anything, but after this, it'll pop up and you can click on your seller hub and it'll give you all of your information for that show, which you can see private test. We didn't sell anything, but it would normally tell you all that stuff right here on that end. All right, guys. Whew, I know that was a long one, but these are some of the most commonly asked questions I get. And a lot of it is just a matter of kind of toggling through these buttons, pressing the buttons, seeing what they do when you press them, scheduling a private show, trialing and erroring, and then doing a few shows and figuring out what you like. I feel like that was a really good walkthrough. Hopefully, I know this was definitely a longer video, but I hope it was very helpful because these are just these commonly asked questions I get. So I tried my best to try to walk you guys through and answer it. If I missed anything, let me know. If you have any questions about something you're seeing that I'm not answering, just let me know. But I feel like I went through pretty much everything. So drop your comments and your questions in the chat below. I'll, of course, answer them. And I don't really make videos like this very often, like I said, so this is different if you are new here. Check out my profile. I have tons of other great videos on Whatnot. This was just a little bit more of an in-depth, let's dive into the actual dashboard of Whatnot and what it looks like and all the things you can kind of click on, because I think that is sometimes the most daunting part of getting started is just like, where do I start? How do I navigate this? There's a lot on my screen and it's not as bad as it seems kind of once you can understand it that way. So again, hopefully this is helpful. Hit that thumbs up if it was. I'll catch you guys next week with another video. We are going to be posting on Thursdays moving forward. So I'll see you guys next Thursday and I hope you have a wonderful week until then. Thank you so much. Bye.